Hi everyone, welcome to Homerino Collectibles. Today I'm going to be doing a Marvel Legends review of the Black Cat from the Sinister 6 box set from Toy Biz. But before we take a closer look at the figure, let's take a look at the box and everyone else that comes in the set. And here is the collector's packaging for the Spider-Man vs. the Sinister 6 box set. Now, if you're watching the review because you like this particular figure, then obviously that's perfectly fine. You can find the individual figures for around about £10 to £30. The £20 mark is roughly where most of them are sold at, and then a little bit more if you can, for example, find a Green Goblin with his pumpkin bombs and so on. But they are out there, they are available, and if you want them in this kind of packaging, if you want all the Sinister 6 and you want to display them like this, because the box is an extremely nice display, it really is. I would really love to have this on a shelf. I want to get the individual figures cheaply. I obviously don't care if they come with all the accessories or not because I have them in this set. But yeah, I really would like extra figures. But this set I got it for £50 from a Comic Con. Awesome deal. Most of them go for about £300 or £400 on eBay, so I got an awesome deal there. But I would suggest to get the set because it just looks incredible, and for me at least it's like the holy grail of Marvel Legends to me, at least Spider-Man wise anyway. But yeah, a quick look at the box. Basically, as you can see, it really is worth it. Such awesome figures in an awesome display. You have all the names down the bottom. You got the comic book in the back, the artwork book. I would, however, really like it if Craven's base was down there where there's a gap, and then as you can see up here you've got Goblin's base, which is hidden underneath the glider. That really should be behind Goblin, because then he's got a couple of pumpkin bombs that are behind that, which are a really nice set of accessories, and he's also got his satchel as well, his bag. But you can't see them, so if you at the time were to go and buy this in a shop for a good price, you know, or now, whatever, you know, if you see it, you're not actually seeing all the accessories for Goblin, so you might not like it as much, so you might not buy it, you know. Whereas if they show them off in the package, you know, they've got enough space to, so they really should have done that. And then also Doc Ock, you can only see 2 of his arms. The other 2 of his arms are curled up on the other side of the base, but if you're just looking at the package, you know, you just can't see them, so how do you know that they're actually in there? And then on the back of the box, over on the left hand side, you see all the pages of artwork that are included in that poster book. And then on the right hand side you see all the bios for each individual character, and then on the bottom you got Spider-Man's bio, and then in the middle we have a little description of the set. Also included in the box is the Sinister 6 poster book. Now it does actually show you all of the images that are in the book on the back of the box, and on the back of this booklet it shows you Marvel Legends Series 6. I really want that Deadpool so badly, but you can see Juggernaut, Cable, Wolverine, Punisher, Phoenix, and if we come to the start, you can see the movie Spider-Man from the first film, which is pretty cool. 67 points of articulation, that's a hell of a lot. And then over here we get the artwork, so I'll just flick through these real quick because you don't want to sit here all day looking at this, because if you get it for yourself, then you can sit there and stare at it all you like. Really like some of these Venom ones and the Black Cat ones. It's nice. Big one, which is the same artwork as what's on the front. Let me get this one right here, and this, and then Black Cat. But yeah, I must say the Venom and the Black Cat are the best ones out of this. And then at the back it also shows off the Marvel Legends Fantastic Four box set. And now here's all of the Sinister 6 action figures put together, so you can see clearly just how great they look together, but also you can see the size comparisons. It's a really nice level of heights between all of them. It's not like they've gone for reuses of molds, so you get some that are the same height. Every single one of these guys is a different height. So yeah, they look really awesome together. You can get some great dynamic poses from them. And even like this, just pretty much all stood up straight. They look absolutely fantastic together. So Black Cat herself, as you can see, I am using the base to stand her up. She has got so many points of articulation in weird places that it can be kind of hard to get it to stand sometimes. But plus, you can see how extremely like sort of thin and nimble she is in the way of her arms and her legs and whatnot. But then you come to the hair, and it's very big, and in comparison to the rest of her figure, it weighs a fair bit, so it can be hard to get this figure to stand sometimes, but not too bad. You know, standing straight up is perfectly fine, but if you want a dynamic pose like that, most of the time you're better off going with a base, and the base that it comes with is this, literally a Black Cat. I mean, it's the most hilarious one out of all of them. I don't actually know really anything about Black Cat apart from who she is and whatnot, so I don't know if this is actually like her logo, and if it is, what the hell, you know? I mean, is that a cat trying to frighten you off, or is it literally afraid? You know, it looks like a cat that's actually afraid to me. Looks like it's about to be eaten by something. These are all teeth, so yeah, you get a scared cat base. Kind of weird, but there you go. At least it comes with one. And then over here, the figure itself, yeah, it's definitely the weakest one in the set. But good thing, I do like the actual face sculpt. So if we just take a look at the actual face first thing, you can see the eyes are painted well. You know, even like the eyelashes and whatnot are on there. The mask looks good. There's a good sculpt there for the nose and for the lips. That looks pretty good. I like how on the sections of paint where you've got all the fur and on a hair, it's got this kind of like sparkly kind of silver look to it. And then the hair's got that too. And then it also has all this blue shading, which is quite nice. It gives it a bit of depth instead of just being a massive white mess sort of thing on the back of her head. I like the silver lines. They're done pretty well on her torso, and then you've got the zip there. That's pretty good. Again, you got more of that sort of silver fur sort of look there. Overall, paint-wise, extremely nice, except for just in here because it's a different shade. I don't know. I mean, this looks like it's molded black, and they haven't put enough paint on it, and they put more on the head, meaning it doesn't actually match up correctly, unless the head is actually literally molded in that colour, and that's the reason for that. But they don't match up quite perfectly, but they look fine. I do like that they've actually included a collarbone there. So another thing I like about the suit, I'm pretty sure you should be able to see it. I can see it coming across on camera quite well. The black isn't just like a flat black or a gloss black or whatever. It actually has sort of glitter sort of in there. You know, it's got some silver paint in there. Really, really awesome look. Unfortunately, everything else about the mold is not very good. There's one good point about the articulation, and that is in the hands, but we'll come to that later. But the mold, I mean, like I said, I like the face, but what the hell are they doing with the top of the head? I mean, I like what they've done with the hair, how it's flowing back like that and whatnot. I don't particularly like it amazingly, but it's okay. But the head, I mean, that just makes me think of Star Wars Episode 6 and the AT-ST being crushed by two logs. That looks like what's gone on with a head. It's just been crushed. I mean, it just comes to a point. I mean, that's just kind of weird. From the back, it doesn't look too bad, but from the front, it's like, what the hell's going on there? And then we've got her ass. Apparently, her ass comes out further on the hips. Apparently, they just stick out. And it just doesn't even look like it's connected to her. And then we move on to the articulation. The head, I mean, down, okay, that's good. That's pretty much all you're going to get, because there's no up because of that just stopping it. and then left and right you can move it. I mean, as you can see, that's as much right as she's getting, but left pretty much nothing. It's stopping on the shoulder. And then this is where it gets kind of crazy. Shoulder movement, we've got a normal shoulder movement. It comes up and out, and then it's full 360, apart from the fact that the hair hinders it. And then we've got a rotation up here at the shoulder too. That's normal. Then we've got a joint at the bicep here as well as that. So for no reason whatsoever, you can make her arm split in two and rotate there and also rotate there. Not only can no human being do that, but why the hell do you need to spend more money on putting another joint on a figure that it literally doesn't need, because it does exactly the same as that joint there? I mean, that is absolutely pointless. But then we have a nice double jointed elbow. That's really, really good. That is literally the most articulation you're ever going to get, because it literally goes all the way. And then we have a swivel down here at the forearm, which is nice, and the hair is connected to this piece, so the hair goes around with it, which is really great. It's not like it's cut at the hair and then it moves separately, so I like what they've done with that. And then the wrist moves in and out, and then all the fingers move together. I like that, so you can have an open hand, or you can bring them in and make a fist, or make her hold something or whatever. So yeah, just really crazy there. And then we've got ab crunch, which works quite well. We've got waist articulation, and then the legs is another point where it's crazy, because they move not just forward and back. They're like, you know, I'm not a massive fan of these kind of joints, but we don't really get them anymore. But you know, a lot of vintage figures used to have them. But it is only limited to that, so it literally can only go that far forward and that far back, even though the actual joint itself should be able to rotate all the way around. But then, I mean, this is really weird. Yeah, that happens. So instead of moving there, instead of putting this on a ball joint or a pin and socket or whatever, they've made it come out to the side from that. So yeah, another inhumanly movable body part there. And then we have rotation at the thigh, which is, you know, obviously normally a thigh rotation will be up here, but it's had to be right down here, halfway down the leg, because of that being there. So that's kind of strange. And then we have a very nice double jointed knee, and then we have rotation here, just like on the arm, that moves with it. And then the feet are very nice, all the way back, all the way forward. She has a very good pivot, very, very nice pivot, and toe articulation, which moves very far. So she looks kind of weird, but even if you're looking at this and thinking, well, you know, if you don't use some of that strange articulation, and if you're looking at it thinking, well, you know, the looks aren't that bad, then you might fancy picking this up on its own. But I cannot recommend it now that this has been released. This is absolutely 100,000 million, billion, trillion times better than this. Number one, it comes with a whip. Number two, not only have they stayed true to that sort of blue on the white, but it just looks so much better, and it's done so much better. Plus, the actual mould of the hair allows her to actually move her head. The whole mould altogether makes her look more like a woman and less like an alien. The proportions on her face are done so much better. The legs actually look like legs and not just weird things attached to her. Just honestly, I think this is an okay figure, but that's about it. I mean, it comes as part of the set, and it's iconic for being so. But it's the one figure in the set that no one actually looks forward to getting out of the box. You know, the Sinister 6 set, really, you're buying it for Sinister 5. You're not buying it for this figure. However, before it was pretty much the only Black Cat that you could get, I think. But now that there's this one, if you want to get the set, then obviously you can look forward to unboxing this. But if you are just looking for a Black Cat figure on its own, then definitely I think that you should pick this one up. Yes, it doesn't come with a base, but it comes with a whip, and you know, she's even got heels and everything. It's such an awesome mould, and it's just painted so well. No shading or anything on the black, but it doesn't need it because it's got it everywhere else. Just so much better. So definitely, if you're looking for a Black Cat figure, guys, go for this one. And if you want to see a full review on this figure, I'll put the link in the description, or you can subscribe to my channel for more Marvel Legends, and you can also go and check this out. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.